All right, with this, I'm gonna show you how to finish your weaving. We're gonna finish off the tapestry. So you're gonna turn it over on the back, and you're just gonna cut the strings right in the middle. Okay, and then you're gonna pull off all of your strings, your warp threads, off of your loom very carefully. And you can reuse those looms, so we'll set those aside. Take all of them off. Okay, so if you did the lino lace, you can tie those onto the next string. Like I could tie this gray one to the next yellow one. And it's gonna be kind of wonky. You might need to stretch it out a little bit. And I've decided that this is gonna be the top of my tapestry, and this fringe down here is gonna be the bottom. So I'm gonna flip it over, and all I'm going to do with these here, the bottom, is simply take two and tie them together. And I'm gonna do probably at least 2, maybe 3 knots per 2 strings. So you're just taking the 2 strings and tying them together. If you have 3 left over at the end, you'll just use 2 and then tie them together like that if you've got an odd number. Okay, so you're gonna do that all the way across, and you can cut these off if you don't want them to show, or you can do what we're about to do to the top. And my needle might not work, but what you're gonna do, and I wouldn't cut them just yet, we're gonna thread it through. You'll need an actual plastic needle for this part. So I've got this needle right here, and here's how it's gonna go. So this one, and actually I should start with that one. Okay, we're just gonna cut this. Mine has a knot, so we're just gonna cut the knot off right there. Gonna thread this through. So this first one is gonna go in behind the next one. Here, let me get it closer. So this first warp string is gonna go behind the next one. And I'm just gonna go as far as I can down, and I'm going to pull that warp string through. Okay, so that is gonna give you a nice clean line at the top. Okay, so I'm gonna do the next one. And y'all's needles, we're gonna be using those plastic needles that we've been using. So y'all are gonna be way easier to thread. So this next one, I have the second string on my needle, and I'm just gonna take and go right down that next line. So I'm going behind that next warp string, and I'm gonna go all the way through the yellow. You wanna make sure that you're not going on the front, because you don't wanna be able to see these. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull that all the way through. Take this off, and you can kind of see how this is working. So those are just disappearing behind what we've got here. And all you're gonna do is cut them off. Okay, and this one ends right here, so I'm just gonna cut it off. Okay, and they're just gonna be hidden right back there. So all of these are gonna go down into that next one. And your top string might get a little loose up here. Just be very careful when you take it off. And you're going to just kind of tuck it as you go. So this one will go around the back here, and then down this line right here. Okay, so that's how you're going to finish all the top. All those are going to be tucked in behind there. And all of these strings over here that we've left on the sides, when we finish to color, we are just going to snip them off. Just like this. And they should be, if you did it correctly, they should be nice and tight. So they should just hang out right there. Okay, so we can cut off all the little extra stuff. Now, if you wanted to weave those back in under here and have them come out the back and just cut them off like we did up here, that works too. If you did technique number 6, you can tie those to your warp strings just because that one's a little bit different, as well as the lino lace, the one that you can see through. Otherwise, you're just cutting off right there. So you've got a clean edge now, and you just cut all your extra off. And it should stay because there's tension, and it should be fine. We're just gonna have to be careful. These are gonna be hanging on a wall, so they should be good. And so after I tie all these, I would cut them. So these 2 that I already tied, I'm probably just gonna snip just a little bit off because this fringe should cover it. Maybe not that one. I'm gonna cut that one a little shorter, just like that, and finish off this side for you. So I've got all this side complete. So it's nice and clean. If you've got some fringe to cover up the bottom, that works. If you just want the bottom clean, you can do it just like we did the top and threading those back through the back. If you have any questions, let me know.